Is it done? Well, I assume success is in order. I had a few reports, but at least nothing that set off any red flags. I expected as much. Now, let's see what we have here. I didn't think it was possible. But someone's been accessing Ularu's files remotely. It's quite a complicated trace, too. I'm impressed Nix was able to track all of this. Damn. And there's our culprit. Imogene Salzo, Senior Operations Specialist, and one of the few I had in mind for who could pull this off.
怎么会呢?
Well, the motive could be anything. Credits, grudges, even boredom. Either that, or she's highly displeased with someone at the company. Well, before we make any harsh decisions, I'll need to question her myself. I want you to head to her office and escort her here. We have to make sure she doesn't try anything before I have a chance to speak with her. If she runs, the guilt will be apparent. And you'll have no choice but to dispose of her. As much as I'd like you to subdue her and bring her in, Imogene would never allow it. She knows what fate lies ahead for those who betray this corporation and get caught. I just want to avoid a scene. Sending you keeps the rumor mill at bay. Good. When you're dealing with corporate workers, discerning the truth from the lies is the hardest part.
背景调查。
Even if she suspects anything, chances are low she'll make a
有罪方。
Hey there. Taking a break? Only that some drama went down during the security update. You know, the one where they kicked us all out of the building for a free day off. Security's keeping pretty tight-lipped about the whole thing. I'm betting they found some dirt on someone's personal computer. Either that, or someone was dumb enough to try and break in.
Try not to harass my techs too much. They have work to do. Let me guess. Looking for Imogene?
你怎么来了？你什么时候？
Let me guess. Looking for Imogene? I'm sure you can tell by now. She isn't here, which is a shame since I have several documents I need her to sign off on. She's always been the master of avoiding desk work. There are work skills and there are life skills. I can't help it if I have both. She hasn't stepped into the office since the maintenance closure.
他知道了，
Probably abusing her paid time off again. I know for a fact she doesn't have any external meetings or business trips. I'm not even sure that's any business of yours, but I do enjoy keeping close tabs on my counterpart. Dare I ask why you need to know? Yeah, no thanks. Getting information out of Dalton is like talking to a wall. Besides, speculation is far more fun. I have Imogene's last location at Frankie's Grab and Go, which we all know is a front for the Sioka Syndicate. You'll want to get executive sign-off if you plan on chasing after her. I'd say Dalton is your best bet.
It is impressive how thoroughly bureaucracy has infected every aspect of this.
Is there an echo in the room? Yeah, Frankie's is a front. Crap convenience store on the outside, high-tech hideout on the inside. Of course, the only people that really know that are Ryujin, Bayu, and the Syndicate itself. Your guess is as good as mine, but she's up to something. I could tell she was trying to cover her tracks, but this is my job. And there's a reason I'm in charge of the technicians here. Good. I'd hate to see what sort of drama might get stirred up if you went around him. Or maybe I'd love it. Keep the workplace interesting, right? Word of advice. If you're planning on forgoing authorization and just tiptoeing your way to Imogene, park your friend at the door. Two's a crowd if you're trying to lay low. Good luck finding Imogene. Oh, and if you do catch up with her, be sure to let her know I had everything to do with it.
Everything to do with.
Well, I feel thoroughly distracted.
Don't.
Now, let's hope I can still get some work done today. I think of it as a hobby. What better way to keep my skills sharp than tracking Imogene? But before you go getting jealous, you should know by now that my team keeps an eye on pretty much everyone. Especially those within operations. What do you expect when you specialize in sabotage? Of course she does, because she's good at her job. That's why I respect her. Touché. To be frank, I don't expect anyone here to trust me either. And if they did, they wouldn't last long. Trust can lead to a carelessness that we can't afford. Imogene, like myself, is trusted for one thing and one thing only. To get results.
这
Time
公
and
司内部
dedication
太
don't
恐
mean much
怖。
around here. And loyalty? Even less. Time to see if I can do a little more digging of my own. If you dove right into the Syndicate's hideout, those consequences are going all the way up to Misako. They aren't just some random street gang like the Strikers or Disciples. They have ties to Bayu, which means they have ties to us. Head to Bayu Plaza and go down the alley by Enhance. Once you see sleep crates, hang a left, and you're there. The Syndicate is probably the biggest gang here in Neon.
哦，
controlled by
市长的
Benjamin
黑
Bayu
帮啊。
himself. Of course, that's not a widely known fact. Most of the Syndicate only know him as an anonymous figurehead. We've used them on occasion ourselves. They're helpful when it comes to tying up loose ends or if you need a few extra guarantees.
好升级。贾斯瑞 A 类恢复最新研发的重力推进器技术 ，A 类恢复B 类恢复。信息准确率减产。高级特工外勤探员艾普尔斯温尼，高级别信息获取扮演多种角色。因为技术人员腾出空间，不想文案工作导致无法按时提交，真的算是缺点。哼。埃斯特邦·贝丁奥克莱尔， 潜行渗透，超级可以跟不善人交流，完全不善人。MJ， 长期渗透，1万的技术型，有待改进5。停工，长期渗透，善于实际面，易产生感情依赖。这没有密码。
I never had the patience for computer systems.
As technicians, we handle
这是那个特工哎。
beginnings and ends, as it were.
Imogene told me she hired another operative. Welcome to the team. I'm April. It's great, as far as I'm concerned. I have a lot of respect for Imogene. She's not afraid to take what she wants. And hates paperwork as much as I do. But what I like the most? She trusts us to get things done. None of that micromanaging crap. I can't speak for what every operative does. People tend to keep their cards close to the chest in operations. But me personally, I'm a field agent. I specialize in gathering intel that our techs can't get, especially blackmail material on high-profile clients and execs. Most assignments take me to the Astro Lounge or Paradiso. It's an incredible job. Great perks, too. I spend most of my time undercover living in luxury. So long. I'm sure we'll meet again.
这些都是特工吗？这个不是。他任务还没做呢，那几个特工人哪去了？不知道。特工技术员。
So, who'd you have to kill to get this job?
Don't cause any trouble.
I'm a little busy.
A gala at the New Atlantis Free Star Embassy.
啊，道尔顿，对。人呢？
I've got my eye on you.
迷路了，道尔顿办公室在
Keep
哪
out
里
of
啊？
my way, and I'll keep out of yours.
哦，行政办公室楼层不在这儿。
Your abilities are truly amazing.
No Imogene, I see. Could she really be onto us already? A good question. But with her abilities and connections, the possibilities are too many to speculate on right now. We need to find her first, and address that issue afterward. Of course, Yuko would know. If Imogene's with the Syndicate, I can't just send you after her. You'll need to speak with Benjamin Bayou.
庇护
We have
是
to
吗？
make sure
那
he's
什么？
aware of the situation. If we're lucky, he may even help us get to Imogene. Bayou owns the Sioka Syndicate. For you to walk in there without discussing it with him first could be seen as a violation of our business relationship. Good, because without it, this adds a complexity that we do not have time for. Head over to the trade tower and be discreet. Let Bayou know that you're there on Ryujin's behalf. He may ask for credits or even a favor. Just give him what he wants.
Well, that certainly settles the question of who really controls things.
It shouldn't be for anything unfamiliar. Bayou is a businessman. Any favor he may request wouldn't be far off from the assignments you've already completed here. If you think my job has been easy since learning about the mole, let me educate you. We've been working around the clock on security upgrades, rerunning background checks, and combing through timelines. Just be sure to bring her back here in one piece. If she's truly the mole, she'll have a lot to answer to. If she resists or tries to run, we have no choice but to take it as an admission of guilt. I'm afraid you'll have to dispose of her. Matters like these are handled within the corporation. The information we're dealing with is too sensitive for law enforcement, and their security leaves much to be desired. It wouldn't be long before the information was either leaked to the press or sold to yet another competitor.
Hasty is not the issue. I think it is a question of severity, and killing her seems too much.
The risk of Imogene continuing to operate as a traitor is too high. If we don't dispose of her now, she could cause a great deal of harm to this company. She knows the consequences of betraying Ryujin, which makes her dangerous. If the situation does take a turn for the worst, I only ask that you perform a thorough search for any evidence she may have in her possession. I trust you won't let your past relationship cloud your judgment. Imogene and I have frequent discussions over security, so the request shouldn't raise any red flags. I don't know. I want to believe she's innocent, but trust isn't something we put much faith in when it comes to security. Benjamin Bayou is administrator of Neon. He runs this town and controls almost everything in it. The only exception is Ryujin Industries, but only due to how mutually beneficial our relationship has been. It's a delicate situation. Bayou could make things very difficult for us if we crossed him. I highly doubt the administrator's involved. If he knew we were dealing with a mole that might threaten Ryujin's success, he'd be taking less subtle measures to dispose of them. That, and I have no doubt we would have heard from him by now.
霓虹城的两座塔，左边一个，右边一个，分别就是 Trade Tower 代表本杰明巴尤，以及龙神大厦代表龙神集团。这是一个平衡，相当于他们合作，然后统治这个城市。开始。
My mother wanted me to be a doctor.
Even when I see it with my own eyes, it is still hard to believe.
悬赏服务任务
What's up?
I know your type. Freewheeling space.
无性恋到底是什么意思？我知道双性恋，无性恋是什么东西？
I don't recall sending for anyone. What do you want? It's been a very beneficial partnership. As long as we continue to look out for our mutual interests, I can't complain. No. I can always make time when it comes to an old friend. So, what would be the reason? I may consider Ryujin an ally, but Dalton especially knows I don't give anything blindly. As long as it doesn't involve the Syndicate members themselves, I'll tell you what. I'll make sure the Syndicate lets you in hassle-free, provided you do a little something for me. Giving up Estelle only made us even for that virus she unleashed. This is an entirely different situation. Excellent. One of the Syndicate leaders, Kumio, has a slate with some information on it that's better off in my hands. Agree to bring it to me, and you've got yourself a deal. Ryujin's got themselves a real keeper. Check in with Ms. Moore at Frankie's. I'll send word along that you're to be expected, so she shouldn't give you any trouble. Fair warning. The Syndicate should let you search any common areas. But if Kumiho catches you snooping around her own quarters for that slate, I'll just say, be prepared for some hostilities. I'm looking forward to you coming through on this deal of ours. I thought I was clear about that. But I suppose you Crimson Fleet types aren't very clever, so I'll spell it out. Estelle Vincent is dead. She decided to have a swim in the ocean below, which, as you know, is very, very dangerous.
我很怀疑底下那个海
And before you
底
get that
死了
look
多
on
少
your
人。
face, don't worry. I'll smooth things over with Delgado. I always do. Yes, yes.
Cause any trouble, and I'll drag you straight to lockup.
Be here when you're ready. The hotel won't lie. Please.
Side's a bad place for tourists these days. Whole area's gone to hell.
You didn't hear this from me.
You lost, kiddo? Sure. I just don't get too many quality customers here. Most folks head over to Newell's or the Emporium if they've got the creds. I'd say less than half my customers are legit. The others are just kids up to no good.
上次来还是个成年，什么意思啊？这是。
Oh, so you're the one getting special treatment. Don't look like much to me. I've got one rule for you in there, so it shouldn't be hard to remember. Third floor is off limits.
Third
They
floor.
catch you snooping around, and it's open season.
Open sea.
I'm more of an honorary member. I let them take up residence in the back, keep things looking legit. They keep this business afloat, so finances don't keep me up at night. It ain't a threat if it's a rule, now is it? That's what I like to hear. For the record, I'm only granting you access because I have to. You'll find that young lady you're looking for holed up in a room almost straight ahead. Just remember to keep your eyes on the prize. The less you consider this an open house, the better. Be quick about your business in there. Never heard of him. Now, are you gonna buy something or just annoy me all day? How am I supposed to know where he is? I can see that. That's what I'm hoping. You just won't give up, will you? Yeah, I know Headlock can't stand him. And I heard some of the other Sioka can't either. That boy doesn't know how to keep himself out of trouble. What'd he do this time? He's a customer. You're not here to interrogate me, so let's get back on track. Well, if any place should be terrorized, it may as well be the Emporium. In any case, if you're so desperate to find him, he and his friends are probably hanging out in Warehouse 4 or somewhere near there. I gotta ask, what are you gonna do with him? I have no affection for him whatsoever. He's a good-for-nothing thug, and a boastful one at that. I wouldn't mind seeing him get smacked around and put in his place. But that doesn't mean I think he should be killed. How very noble of you. I certainly wouldn't go get myself killed on Tevin's account. Anyways, I got a shop to run. Are you gonna buy something or what? Doors open. Bonjour.
Hopefully Neon treats you well.
哇，打开的容器，它这个柜子不错。群众心态。什么盗贼工会？
No funny business. Back off.
这什么玩意儿？犯罪头领。
got the damn stuff or not?
I'll get you some when we're done here.
哼。
You try anything, you're dead. I'm watching you.
I'm watching you. You try anything, you're dead.
Back off.
Another way through here. Unsure where it leads.
大师级锁。
No funny business.
Emergency. Shit! 靠，在这里不能开枪啊！在这里开枪算敌对。要小心点。这个，哎，那用消音武器是不是就可以呀
？Back off.
我试试。这又是哪里？哦，小孩子 ！What the fuck？ 监视。吓我一跳，安德烈亚！霓虹这边有一条路，哎，你可以摸进去。其实意思就是，这边是你可以。不和巴尤谈话，也不和门口那个人交涉的进入办法。这是哪儿？这是后面的一个隐藏的地方。这楼上到处都是这种隐藏的入口，看来。这是刚才那个地方，
I'm watching you.
63集，16集。
No funny business.
You try anything, you're dead.
态度屌差，在睡觉呢。啤酒。哎，偷把钥匙，这怎么还会有人 ？Shit！ 这，哎，我操！这也算手毛脚。我没有要偷你们枕头，谁要偷你们枕头啊？喂，我只是想看看底下的杂志。真的是，这些人怎么这么敏感？太敏感并不好。谁稀罕你们的枕头？我要这个国战科技目录1。
An interesting find.
进一步提升射程和精度。
I'm watching you.
鼻虫外星虫政治，飞镖盒，这还有飞镖盒呢。这是怎么这么大？我靠 ！Holy shit！ 犯罪那种很，就那种大反派藏身处的感觉，就这个地方。他说不要去3楼，这边还有个通风管道呢。其实，但我怎么觉得我肯定要去3楼
You try anything, you're dead.
I suppose we should assume they actually know how to use all of this, and it is not just for intimidation.
这边要进去，但我现在如果不进去的话
Back off. No funny business.
I'm watching you. You try anything, you're dead.
他们的军火库。
Back off.
蓝色的。
What the hell were you thinking?
What are you talking about?
Didn't anyone ever tell you the Syndicate doesn't target kids?
How hard is it to understand that you don't sell to them, you don't steal from them, and you don't get... rough with them for stumbling into our territory?
Did it ever occur to you that someone could be sending them in deliberately to spy? You know there are those who wish to bring us down through subterfuge. So just how do you suppose we deal with that?
Kind of power. I'm glad it is in your hands.
九尾，哎，溜进来了。这是歪打正着。我本来都不知道这个通风管它是通往哪里。我操！他在屋子里 ，fuck！ 这谁想得到？我以为屋子里没有人呢，那这就有点难办了。这要在光天化日之下，从眼皮子底下偷东西出去，他就坐在那后面，他被电脑挡着，我压根没看到，这下搞笑。我操，这眼皮子底下偷东西，脱了。这么狠！我操！哈哈，他人。恶功。
Either we press on or we turn back.
别说话了。他妈的队友，你给我滚出去吧！你不要妨碍我了，真不该带队友。我是没事儿，他有事儿。
I'm sick of these shitty orders. Can't wait to rank up and hit the big times.
We can go farther this way, it seems.
操！又被发现，是不是又是队友？
Not many options other than head. Shall we?
龙？什么龙？私人探子去游泳，游泳的意思是不是在霓虹城就是死了的意思？我操 ！The fuck！ 这队友啊！危险，他妈的，真他妈危险！一定把这门关起来，这门不关，迟早出事。关门应该就好一些。我他妈怎么绕回来了我？这。搞了半天，我没法绕回来，这真搞笑。 里屋。
Figured our paths would cross sooner or later. Not that I thought I was safe, but I never expected anyone to just slip by all the syndicate here. I had a feeling you'd be the one to come after me. You stay in this business long enough, you get enough favors and connections that can help you see anything coming. Nyx owed me a favor and gave me the heads up. Yes and no, but mostly no. Just hear me out, okay? I know this doesn't look good, but I had no choice. Ularu set me up. Yes, I've been acting as a double agent, but because she ordered me to. The assignment was meant to deceive, not benefit. And Project Dominion is way above my pay grade. It'd be impossible for me to deliver it. At least, intentionally. Of course. But first you have to understand, she used me to play an unwitting part in this, so I'm the one that takes the fall. That's why I said it'd be impossible for me to intentionally pull this off. I'm not the one with motive here. First, I'm not about to reboot my life. Second, I'm not spending the rest of my life looking over my shoulder for the next field op they'd send after me. Look, I only know about Project Dominion because I wanted to know exactly what I was being accused of leaking. But that tech is dangerous. An internal neuroamp that can theoretically control other people? If the evidence points to me, it's because Ularu used it to set me up. What better way to frame someone than to take control of their mind and have them actually perform the actions?
五仔计划是这样的啊
This is exactly what
What
makes
the
something
fuck?
like an internal
精神
neuroamp
控
so
制
dangerous.
我以为只是内置的，我以为只是内置的神经增，这只是把外置的改成内置的而已啊！这
That's what makes it
什么
dangerous.
鬼？这
No one would believe it. So, if Ryujin keeps this tech a secret, suddenly every deal, every legal matter, every little thing is going to go their way.
超级公司发展精神控制技术，好家伙，我靠！
Yes, it's what the technology does, and it explains why the evidence against me is so solid. Come to think of it, it also explains a few strange bouts of disorientation I've been having the past few months. I know it doesn't look good, but that's exactly
让我想起
why
2077
I've been
那个
gathering
市
my
长
own
那个任务。
evidence. Ularu has the skill to pull this off, but she's also been behind a desk for years now. I knew she'd miss something. This slate holds all the evidence against her. I just need you to deliver it to Dalton. It's the only way I can prove I'm
人
innocent.
形害变兽啊，以后。
Nyx's contract limits his investigation to Ularu's computer and her network activity. I hacked into building security and was able to recover deleted records of her accessing the Project Dominion prototype. I guarantee the third-party company Dalton is using for his security directive Theta won't even notice it. I was hoping you would. I'm still going to lay low until I hear the coast is clear. As long as Ularu still thinks I'm on the run, she'll remain confident that her plan is working. And I know you don't hear it much around the office, but thanks.
It has become. Can we even trust that if we give the evidence to Dalton, he will accept it?
I can't believe I didn't see this coming. If Dalton really believes I'm involved in this, then I'm on the run. I hate the idea of uprooting my life, but I'd have no choice at that point. And Ularu will probably send every operative she believes capable after me. Ularu wants Masako gone, but she doesn't have a legitimate reason to get the board to fire her. Instead, Ularu creates the very situation we're in now to make her look bad. The board sees Masako as a risk and votes her out. And with the Project Dominion prototype at her disposal, Ularu can guarantee they'll make her the next CEO. Extremely dangerous and way too powerful for human consumption. Obviously, the benefits to Ryujin would be infinite. But, as Ularu herself has proven, no one should be trusted with that kind of power. Oh, great. That'll be just what I need if this all blows over. Let's just hope she keeps her mouth shut on this one. The last thing I need is to be the highlight of office gossip when I get back. Well, that, and she'll never let me forget it.
凡肯斯坦。
Hope you can succeed at that before we are discovered.
够财力。
No funny business.
3楼。
Hold it right there. You aren't allowed on this floor. Yeah, right. You're in our territory here. The only way you get a private tour of our personal space is if you're dead. We may have had a few dealings in the past, but that doesn't make us friends. Now beat it. If I catch you trying anything again, I'll introduce your face to a few bullets.
This means you finished your business. Need something?
Striker.
I have some sleep crate units available.
That side's a bad place for tourists.
"犯罪率低至16%，操！"
Seems like the Crimson Fleet is everywhere these days. "另一边。
Hey there, what's up?
Realus.
I feel like I know you. Sound safe.
Keep your move along.
Ah, Ryujin's latest returns. I trust you've got what I wanted? I'll always say the best thing about working with Ryujin is you never fail to come through. Things aren't always flawless, but the end result is always beneficial. It's been a pleasure. And tell Dalton I'll expect he'll send me any updates on this little situation of his, should it have any effect on my business.
At least that portion of this ugly mess is over.
可以直接去质问乌拉鲁，在找道尔顿之前。定做西服。
I think I got them. What do you call them? Corns?
If the gangs can keep from killing each other, I just might have a good day.
Not sure if those Varun zealots live in space. Got separated from
I used to be an actuary. Now
Wow, look who's back. So tell me, what did you find out? Inside the Syndicate? That area's off limits, and I think we both know why. Imogene knew exactly what she was doing when she went there. If you think I'm paying for that information, think again. It's just a matter of time before it finds its way onto my desk, and I can be a very patient person. I had a feeling you'd say that. Enjoy your time with Dalton. It'll all trickle back to me sooner or later.
don't wander into any restricted areas.
Is there something I can help you with? Excuse me? Let me close this door before you say anything else you might regret. Just a moment.
要干嘛？
Shutting the door and engaging locks. That's better. And that's quite the story you just threw in my face. Not to mention a serious accusation. And just where is this absurd notion coming from? Is this a game? I wasn't aware. You really think I'd believe that? It is a horrible thing when such well-made plans can't be shared. You're actually starting to sound a lot like me. Oh, sure. And I just take your word for it. I don't think so.
Looks like someone's been brushing up on their corporate skills. Fine. Since it's just you and me here, I'll come clean. I leaked Project Dominion to Infinity Ltd, but I'm no mole. Please. It's insulting that you think I'd actually be working for someone other than Ryujin or myself. That depends on how you define innocent. You see, I'm not a mole. I'm an opportunist. And no one is more loyal to Ryujin than I am. Masako, on the other hand, is losing her touch. Ryujin needs strong leadership for what lies ahead. A CEO who can make the hard decisions. It was never my intent to involve Imogene. But when you arrived with information on Project Dominion, I knew Infinity had screwed up. I had no choice but to act fast. Imogene is the only one that Dalton and the others would believe was capable of pulling this off. It had to be her. It's all part of my plan. But don't worry. Infinity Ltd will never be able to complete Vina's work. I made sure of that. What do you think? If someone was a threat to your family, would you be satisfied waiting for them to strike? Of course not. You'd eliminate the threat before it had a chance to act. In some cases, before it even realized what it was capable of. Back then, hard decisions were all about screwing people over and white-collar crime. Today, they're more about ensuring success, by any means necessary. So, now that you know, it's time to see how good you are at making hard decisions. With your help, I can take down Masako and make the credits worth your while. So whose side are you on? Masako's or Ryujin's?
这
Well, it seems we're at an impasse now. I'm losing patience. The only way you stop me from carrying out my plans to depose Masako is to kill me. You could try to get me fired, but that only delays my plans. Face it, this isn't a game you can win. Go ahead. I guarantee any evidence you have is circumstantial at best.
这么有信心？
I've created the perfect scapegoat in Imogene. It'd be your word against mine.
当庭对
and I'm
峙
pretty sure the odds are
到
in
时候
your
还要
favor.
两边辩论是吗？
We'll see about that.
Don't cause any trouble.
You're back. And Imogene? I suppose you suddenly have all the facts now. This explanation better be good. I'm a mind to fire you just for that comment. Of course. We've scrubbed security footage and run through access card permissions and found nothing. The project itself is an enormous security risk, but our lead R&D engineer, Vina Kara, has been working on ways to mitigate this.
If our word is not enough, that may convince you.
I find it hard to believe Ularu would take the chance to incriminate herself. But if this slate provides indisputable evidence to corroborate your story, well, that's enough proof for me. It will be a relief to reinstate Imogene as well. Now, I need to undertake the laborious task of writing up a report to summarize all of this. In the meantime, Masako has requested your presence in R&D. She wants you to meet her in Vinakara's office. Vina's the head of our research and development team. She's the creator of Project Dominion, and often considered the protege of Ray Karis, Ryujin's founder. Just take the elevator down to research and development. You'll find Dr. Kara's office to your left as you enter the floor. Masako's been focusing on how to deal with Infinity Ltd. And their knowledge of Project Dominion. I believe her plans rely heavily on you. Not that I enjoy it, but I wouldn't trust anyone but myself with these reports as it is.
有罪方。OK， 继续。
Are you really going to keep Masako waiting?
They know how to make the client feel welcome.
I'm still not entirely sure my company should get into bed with Ryujin Industries.
研究与开发。这是不潜入的时候的样子。我们之前只来过潜入的那个，都没有看过不潜入是什么样子。龙神集团的机器人涂装是特别的。
This unit is on patrol. If you attempt to engage me in combat, I will be forced to detain you.
Can't get Vina and DeMarcus argued about electrons for hours yesterday.
I need that Rothicite if we want to complete the neuroamp.
Don't worry, we'll figure it out and get that shipment back. Good, you're here. It's time to put a plan in motion to take full control of this situation with Infinity Ltd. The mole took priority. Now that Dalton has everything he needs, thanks to you, we're free to proceed. We don't know to what extent Infinity has taken the current neuroamp schematics. So, our top
我感觉
priority
这要
is
出大事，
completing
这是
our
精神
own.
控制器啊！我靠。
Let me introduce you to Vina Kara, head of research and development. She'll give you the initial details.
Yes, details. You see, the internal neuroamp is supposed to consist of two parts. The first part, the part Infinity stole, handles the manipulative effects. The second part is a shielding modification designed to protect the user against other neuroamp users.
这个就像互相黑入了，其实就是如果你植入了神经增幅器，你可以黑入别人的心智去控制，但是如果你装了这个，那别人如果尝试黑入你的话，意思就相当于他可以反制。但如果每个人都有了的话，那不就他妈变成，靠，我去，这个技术很危险啊！说实话，这。
Well, we can't.
but the shielding aspect was never officially a part of Project Dominion.
为什么这种东西会被批
It was
准
an？ afterthought of how to safeguard our own people from being manipulated, so it was being researched separately as a mod. The research itself was in early stages, too early for board approval, so only
还没有
myself,
董
DeMarcus,
事
and
会还没
Misako know
有。
about it.
屏蔽模块。
You got that right.
No one wants their greatest asset used against them. Once Vina can complete the internal neuroamp and shielding mod, the plan is
我
to
是第一个
outfit
原
you
型
with
啊，
both
合着。
and have you infiltrate Infinity Ltd. We can't risk the assignment until we know your mind has the necessary protection.
互相
Of course. Installing experimental technology into your very head. What could go wrong?
We expect our employees to do whatever it takes to ensure Ryujin's success. Consider this an opportunity, not a risk. Besides, you're in good hands with Vina.
啊。
Good. That's all I wanted to hear.
And all I need is the last piece of the puzzle. The final kink in both designs was finding compatible materials to use for conductivity that the human body wouldn't reject. I've finally created the perfect alloy, but it requires a newly discovered refined element called rothosite.
The last shipment we were supposed to receive never arrived, and we've gotten no response to our queries from the station. We have a confidential contract with Consolidated Mining to keep the discovery quiet, so it's unusual for them not to respond. We have several theories. Dealing with a new element on a new planet has its own set of risks. It could be environmental, mechanical, or, worst-case scenario, pirates, mercenaries. We are leaning toward the latter.
Mercenaries.
Yes, Consolidated Mining knows what's at stake if they fail to deliver. They consistently get the job done, which is why we chose them to run this station. And also why we're so concerned. We need you to head out there, secure the shipment, and bring it back here so Vina can complete her prototype. And I want to know what happened. We need to take any safety measures to make sure this doesn't happen again. Unfortunately, yes, so be prepared. Extensive tests and research were done on the planet, so the chances that this is environmental are slim. And setting up a station like this is second nature for Consolidated Mining, with plenty of redundancies in place to handle mechanical failures. The station is called CM Station RC-1. It's on a moon called Carinae 3A in the Carinae system. Unfortunately, we had to cut ties with our supply chain manager,
汤姆登槽又怎么？是之前
and
我
his replacement is still getting up to speed. Otherwise, I may have had more useful information.
汤姆登槽怎么？
I can't discuss the details.
具体发生啥
Company
我不知道。
Camden managed all of our outside contracts. He set up the initial agreements with Consolidated Mining, so he had on-site access and knowledge that we could have used. Be prepared for anything. Once you have the shipment, bring it straight back to Vina. Once we have the rothosite, we can finally set my plan in motion. Consolidated Mining is one of the oldest and most trusted mining companies in the settled systems. As their name may suggest, they were created when several smaller companies came together in order to compete with the dominating names at the time, like Argos.
我
They
的
grew
老
their business
老
on
公
dependability and
联
service,
合
and still retain those qualities today. Unfortunately, the person who could have answered that question, Camden Cho, was let go recently. All I can say is that Carinae 3A is the only place discovered where Rothosite can be found.
Rothosite.
Which is why our contract is being kept confidential. The station is one of the first to be set up to mine it, which is why we didn't feel reinforced security would be necessary. Of course, but our technicians don't have the skills that our operatives do. We like to keep them limited to populated areas, not lone mining stations.
我觉得都很有意思，没有哪个是无聊的。这4个阵营线每个都非常精彩，真的是就是杯赛有史以来做的最精彩的那个阵营任务了。无论是辐射4、老滚5这些游戏里，我觉得星空是目前做的最好的。4个都有自己的特色，大相径庭，然后都很精彩。
I hate to think about what might have happened on the station. Designed and developed right here. Remarkable, aren't they? I wish I could have been Ray DeCaris the day she first perfected the technology. She laid the groundwork that DeMarcus and I base all of our current designs on. Oh, DeMarcus is my chief engineer, by the way. He's the only person here who can keep up with me, but don't let him know that. It'll go straight to his head. Don't tell me you don't know the name of Ryujin's founder. Ray DeCaris created Ryujin Industries with Itaru Saito back in 2307. She developed the very first neuroamp just a few years later, laying the foundation for this corporation. I had the honor of working under her a few short years before she retired and entrusted me with R&D. That's right. I'm Dr. Veena Kalra, head of research and development. I oversee everything that goes on around here, from neuroamp development to weapon testing. Do me a favor and watch your step out there on the floor, okay? DeMarcus and the engineers work with a lot of dangerous equipment and chemicals. And as much as I'd love to test some of our experimental tech on human subjects, that requires special approvals.
人体实验
Don't tell me you don't. Ray DeCaris created Ryujin Industries with Itaru Saito back in 2307.
现在多少？ 现在几
She
年
developed the
来
very
着？
first
23
neuroamp just a few years later, laying the. I had the honor of working. The one and only. It was one of the first projects I proposed as head of research and development, so Project Dominion is like my baby. Funny story. The concept started off as a joke DeMarcus made, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this was just the challenge I was looking for. For you, it'll be like going into a deep, relaxing sleep, and then waking up feeling refreshed and invigorated. For me, it'll be a few hours of laser-focused skill. I like to think of neurosurgery as an art form. Honestly, it's going to be fine. Zero downtime, no projected side effects. You're gonna love it.
啊，真的吗？我倒希望呢。
It's a very rare element that appears to be unique to the moon, Carinae 3A.
极其
With the right purity in combination with other metals, the alloy is completely compatible with an amazing level of conductivity and no degradation. It's basically the ace up our sleeve for neuroamps. Stop by my office next time you're in the tower, okay?
他就吃拉面，为了工作都只吃拉面，只吃个就是泡面、方便面，这个。
You left pretty fast.
I'm fine. I really thought that formula would be the one, and it blew up in my face. Almost literally.
Was your first test run? Could have been worse.
Yeah, I just need a few minutes to
烟
sort
雾
myself
散
out
去。
and let the smoke settle.
That smoke's long since cleared. It's the smell that's lingering. But it's no worse than that time Bezzy singed off all his facial hair.
Oh my god. And we still give him hell over that. Thanks for cheering me up.
We take him.
Was I supposed to attach that clockwise or counterclockwise?
Excuse me.
We all have our bad days.
I shouldn't take failure so seriously. It's just part of the process. There's just nothing like that feeling of getting it right the first time.
Never a dull moment in R&D.
It's going to be a pain to figure out where I went wrong. It's going to be a pain to figure out.
有3句后续，我看星空这个文本量有多吓人，就是这样。你看到他们2个在聊天，对吧？他们甚至都没有名字嘛，他们就是普通 NPC， 他们聊天，然后来来回回聊一会儿，然后你再上去和他连续点3次交谈，他都有3个不同的后续。这个文本量太恐怖了，真的。
The new Neuro app Vina designed is absolutely brilliant.
You want to chat? Find Demarcus. He's always willing to talk someone's ear off.
I am not permitted to perform medical
缺乏人类。
without human oversight.
Does Miss Calra know you're wandering around up here?
3D 打印机。
Our floor's off limits to most people. Kind of nice to have a guest.
这是植入的地方，这是我们刚才潜入的时候倒是来过。需要测试房间通行卡。
Watch your hands. Lots of delicate equipment around here. I'm the chief engineer here, specializing in cybernetics. I'm one of the lucky folks who get to be at the forefront of NeuroAmp technology. Half of the NeuroAmps on sale downstairs in the lobby are my designs. Trying to sneak a peek at the latest research? Honestly, it's a dream and an honor to work among some of the best scientific minds in the settled systems. Especially when Ryujin allows us so much freedom to pursue our ideas, even if they're controversial. Vina herself believes there's a positive application to any idea.
但是这种东西精神控制认真的吗？你们真敢做呀！我靠
Hey, welcome to R&D.
你们可真敢做呀！我的老天。
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that my latest experiment will be a success.
真是胆大呀！
It's quiet up here.
通风管道。
Watch your fingers. Lots of dangerous machines around.
对这个异地校正还接了个任务呢，之前。
All right, relax. This experiment can't go worse than the last one.
Ryujin.
Keep out of my way, and I'll keep out of yours.
I can't wait for my next break. Plenty of good stuff. Here, take a look.
我之前是买过，我买了个那个，哎，更贵。你看新金不行，新金太便宜了，我买个贵的，看，权力套装啊，我有定做的。我之前买了一个那个交流通，对我买了个交流通的，策略通、自信通、超启行政套装。 这个其实比较贵，这还加说服几率。我觉得咱们买个这个衣服穿吧。俗话说，人靠衣装。
Here, have a look.
这定做西服怎 怎么这么便宜啊？73就代表说它比那个新金贵，但是它比我新买的这一套便宜。我们作为龙神的高级特工，也是时候配得上穿一套比较好的衣服。哎，这一套蛮帅的。超起行政。前往船底座3 Alpha。
What are you looking at?
这直接，咱们现在这个特工角色扮演进行的非常顺利。我到现在也是没有杀任何人，绝大部分时候都是潜行，潜行不过就嘴炮，但是大部分时候都是完全潜行钻通风管道，特别我操，特别好。我只能不是这种人，我已经没法理解了，就是。我只能怎么说呢？我只能说这是一种很可悲的事情，就是为了证明自己是对的，甚至要认为别人玩游戏是，我不理解，就我不理解是要经历过哪些事情才会有这种观点出现，甚至特别离谱。我很想知道造成这种可悲现象的原因到底来自于什么。我纯属有病才会我不用和这帮人解释，我觉得你也没有必要。之前我们接了一个任务。我们接了一个特别离谱的，在那个，就是我在潜入的时候看了台电脑，结果接了这么个远程小行星测试站点的任务。现在我们先去看看那个吧，要不。不是20年，10年前都不是这样，也就近5年环境越来越差，说实话。搁在哪儿来着？这边。